Okay, it is now 7:33, and we're going to call to order the special called city council meeting. I will read the agenda because this is the sole purpose of this meeting. The election of person to fill the vacancy of alderperson for District 2 is set forth by Article 3, Section 9 of the City of Gallatin Charter. So we will begin with the roll call. Ms. Kitchell, please.
Vice Mayor Love.
Here.
Councilman Carter.
Present.
Councilman Fan.
Here.
Councilman Fennell.
Here.
Councilman Hayes.
Present.
And Councilman Juvance.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you so much, just like we did for the last two meetings, right? Okay, now we will have public recognition on agenda-related item only. You are welcome to come forward and speak at this time. Anyone has to be to the item that's on the agenda. You will have 5 minutes. We ask that you give us your name and you must give us your address for the record. So I would welcome you for public recognition on agenda-related item only at this time.
My name is Darren Cornish. I live at 800 Lock 4 Road here in Gallatin. I'm here before you today. Special thanks for agreeing to hear from me, but I would like to be considered for the District 2 councilman position. I've lived in Gallatin since 2016. Gallatin has truly become more than just a city for me. It is my home. I demonstrate that by the home that I live in. It was built in 1890. I've done plenty of research throughout Sumner County to determine the history of the house, and I've worked diligently to keep that house moving forward and progressing with the times. If you're not aware, back in the 90s, the house was up for auction to be torn down because it had come to such disrepair. Through several conservatorships, through people before me, they put a lot of progress or a lot of energy into that, a lot of sweat equity, and now I continue that, and I plan to do the same as a councilperson. Speak to the heart of Gallatin, continue to move towards the future, but also hold on to some of our legacies, the things that make us Gallatin and make us different than other cities in the area. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I did my time with the Army, really enjoyed my time. I unfortunately did come out with a military disability from jumping out of planes. I'm really dedicated to all that I do. I've spent the last 5 years with a company in Nashville called LKQ Corporation. There, I am the senior manager for all of our IT support, supporting 50,000 employees across the globe. So I bring a lot of different experience about working with different people, delivering on projects, and accomplishing goals. That's about me. If you have any questions, I believe you all should also have a copy of my resume.
Thank you, Mr. Cornish. We just take comments at this time. They'll follow up with questions later if they so desire to. Appreciate your interest very much.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Anthony Lee, 287 Walbrook Drive. I've corresponded with most of you over the last couple of weeks, so I won't take much of your time. Speaking here this evening because I was unable to attend last week's council meeting, and I'm here to inform you that I am interested in the District 2 seat. A couple of little things about me is that I was a lifelong Maryland resident. Relocated here to Gallatin when Breda USA moved here 9 years ago. Still currently work for Breda USA. Time when we moved here, I just became interested in how this city was run. Never really lived in a super small city like this. And I did participate in the first Gallatin government class that was organized by the Economic Development Agency. And I participated in all or most of the long-term growth meetings that were held in 2019. And randomly attend these council meetings and participate when needed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
y'all doing? I am Sonia Crutcher-Ravel. I've had the opportunity to meet and talk to some of you, most of you, all of you. It's been a great privilege to talk and get to know a little bit more about my city. I was born and raised in Gallatin. I lived on the East Coast for a little bit, but moved back home because I love the small town feel. But I'm here today because I will love to be considered to serve District 2, hold that seat, and I would love to be the voice of the people, my constituents. I would love to have the opportunity to make good, sound decisions for my city, for people. I love working and helping people. I have sent you all information about who I am, what I do. I've had a long adult life, professional life of working and helping people. And so I am very interested in continuing that in that seat. And I thank you for your consideration, your time, your energy, and just giving me the opportunity to stand before you. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ravel.
Hey, Michael Metter, 3046 Duval Drive. First, I want to say publicly that I actually haven't voted in the last few years before buying my home and moving back onto the other side of Gallatin. I am registered. I'm a homeowner living in Zone 2 for about 2 years now. We're now settled, and I won't miss another election, either as a candidate or a supporter, because we have some great people that have thrown their hats in with me, as along with you all. It's made me realize that more now than ever how important it is to bring everyone to the table. With about 51,000 people here in town, everyone's vote absolutely matters, especially here locally. I'd like to thank each of you for taking the time to speak with me this week. The insights and thoughtfulness, they really show some of the core values that has really made Gallatin, well, Gallatin, right? I've often been asked when traveling, what is Gallatin like? As I moved and traveled after graduating from GHS, I tell people it's a lot like a modern day version of Mayberry meets Land Between the Lakes meets Green Acres. I know, I may have lost some of these references. Not everyone was only allowed to watch Nick at Night growing up. But I'll explain by backing up just a little bit. In high school, I played football. I ran track and field. I was in theater performers and choral performers. Don't worry, I won't be singing or dancing tonight. The question I was always asked, Gallatin Green Wave, what even is that, right? And my response, as it's grown over the years, is the most representative symbol of a school and city there has ever been. Sure, the simple answer is it's surrounded by a lake with rippling green waves, but it feels like it goes so much further than that, right? Green is what I remember most about sunny summer afternoons running around my neighborhood here in Gallatin. With all my friends, going to cookouts at the parks here in town, and being on the soccer fields down at Rogers Fields. Wave is more of an action, like how when the city comes together, we come together in waves, or how growing up, I would smile because everyone waved at each other. Simply, Gallatin is beauty, and in short, a neighborly place. So of course, we have growth because of who doesn't want to be part of a community like this. My goal is to do it the right way, the Gallatin way, so my son and our future have a place to be as proud of as I am. Part of my vision I sent to you all in an email. I'll read that excerpt. Keeping the diverse hometown feeling I grew up with while bringing growth and expansion for our community, creating more opportunities, not just for our neighbors, but also for the children of our community. Increasing communication, access, and approachability to help grow civic sentiment and interest, right? I'm confident that I can bring fresh ideas and new perspective to the council. I'm particularly passionate about our youth and finding creative ideas outside the box without losing the box. We are at a significant crossroad in the history of Gallatin. These next few months and years will not only be decisive in our decisions, but it could actually face everything that goes on in the city for decades, even centuries to come. I believe that I can make a significant contribution in these areas. The challenges this council has faced with 3.39% annual growth and over 15% growth since 2020 should not be envied by anyone. But I'm back home. I'm ready to answer the call and work side by side with each and every one of you the Gallatin way. Thank you.
Better.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Todd Alexander, 217 Strange Circle. I want to thank you for considering me to serve District 2 in this position. I suppose you're very familiar with me for over the last 5 or 6 years, regularly coming and speaking, and every single time I do that, I always thank you for that because it is a privilege. I'm also a veteran. I work to keep the planes flying, Mr. Cornish, that you jumped out of. So, but anyway, I thank you for the opportunity to serve, and I suppose you know me well enough. But if you have any questions, I'm here, and later on in the meeting, when that time comes, I welcome any questions that you have about my experience or my vision for the city. Thank you.
Mr. Alexander, is there anyone else that wishes to speak this evening? I would invite you forward at this time.
Aaron Allison, 303 Berkshire Place in Gallatin. You guys heard last week my experience. You've seen my experience, and I think my experience is important, and I bring a lot to this opportunity. But what I want to emphasize tonight is my temperament. I think I'm the right person for Gallatin. I'm a learner. I'm a lifelong learner. I want to learn, first of all, from the citizens. And I have learned from public comment so many great things that our citizens bring to us. I want to learn from our staff. We have a great staff. They are experts. They spend all week and they bring things to this council for our consideration. And I think that they have so much that I can learn from them. I'm going to ask them questions to hold them accountable and to work with the mayor, but I want to learn from them. And then every single one of you, I look forward to learning from you guys. Every one of you have something to offer. And I want to lead. Just because I said I want to learn doesn't mean I won't lead. I'll make tough decisions. I'll be decisive. And it will be for the benefit of the citizens and for the long-term benefit of the city. And finally, I want to say this, is I'm here to leave with friends. I'm not looking to make enemies. I'm not looking to be loyal to one group or another group. I want to work with this council. And at the end of the day, I want us to be friends, not because we always agree, because there'll be times I know that we won't agree. But what we can agree upon is we want this city to prosper. And together, we can have a fresh start. And maybe my participation these next few months can be a fresh start for this council. Thank you for this consideration.
Anyone else wishing? I see a head back there.
Clyde Payne, 548 Bex Place, Gallatin, Tennessee, 37066. I am honored once again to express my interest in serving as the District 2 representative of the Gallatin City Council. As a proud resident of the city of Gallatin over the past 20 years, this community holds a special place in my heart. Having grown up here, graduating from Gallatin High School, now raising my children in this wonderful city, I am deeply committed to the continued growth and success. My educational background in business administration from Cumberland University and my experience in government finance and economic development with USDA Rural Development have equipped me with the skills and the knowledge necessary to make a positive impact as a city council member. In my professional role with USDA Rural Development, I have the privilege of collaborating with community leadership and agencies such as TDOT, EPA, State Revolving Fund, to resolve complex issues within rural communities across the state and across the country. I've presented at conferences and participated in roundtable discussions regarding services to achieve rural prosperity while sharing insights and strategies with community leaders to drive a positive change. In addition to my professional experience, I've been actively involved in various volunteer activities within the community, including events such as the Solar Eclipse event, Fire on the Water, Music Festival, the Shamrock Run, and the Tennessee Winter Classic, which brought over 3,000 people to the city of Gallatin. I've also served on various boards, such as YMCA Green Hills and the American Cancer Society. And lastly, serving our youth as an assistant football coach at Liberty Creek High School over the past 2 years. I believe my diverse background and experience make me uniquely qualified to serve on the city council. I am passionate about the community service and understand the importance of collaboration and communication between city officials, department heads, city employees, and its residents. I am inspired by the work of the current city council and eager to support their mission in any way that I can. I am truly excited about the opportunity to contribute to the continued success of the city of Gallatin, and I'm committed to serving the citizens of District 2 with dedication, and here's a big one, with integrity. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Payne. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak this evening? Sorry, I'm turning my timer off so it doesn't beep. Okay, so with that, public recognition on agenda-related item is closed, and we will move now to the regular agenda. Election of person to fill the vacancy of alderperson for District 2 is set forth by Article 3, Section 9 of the City of Gallatin Charter. I am going to suggest that it would be a good exercise for any council members to maybe speak about their preferred candidates. You know, it is so unique that we have so much interest. I think that's a great thing. And again, thank you all for being interested in this. And I hope that, because a lot of you will not be selected to fill this vacancy, I hope that you will choose to serve in other ways and that you will engage with us in the future. I'm very, very excited. I'm excited about the diversity of age, the diversity of length of time that have lived here, the experiences that you all bring to the table, and how you can work into the fabric of our future. So thank you. So I would suggest, Mr. Hayes.
No, I was just going, are you ready? Are you through? I was waiting till you got through.
I will be through. Councilman Hayes.
Oh, I was just going to say, you know, the mayor summed it up. I'm glad that we had 10-plus candidates. I've been on here a long time, and I think I've been through 2 where we've had to replace, and this is the most that we've ever had. And each one of them are very qualified and everything like that. But it's a hard decision for us to make. And at this time, I'd like to make a nomination.
You may.
Okay. I mean, I'd like to nominate Mr. Aaron Allison.
I'll second that.
So I have a motion and a second for Mr. Aaron Allison. We will continue. I was really imagining us having some discussion before a nomination came to the table, and so I'll go back. Vice Mayor
I
Love?
don't know about that discussion about him, but I did want to say that several of these applicants have really, really impressed me, and this is such a hard job. Y'all don't even, it's like judging a beauty contest or something. Y'all are all beautiful. And even though this position is temporary, I hope that many of you all will actually run for office in November, because I think that you all can bring a lot to Gallatin, and I think you have a lot of potential to do really good things. So thank you all again, too. I just thought I was going to squeeze that in there before a nomination, but I'll go ahead and say that.
I appreciate that, Vice Mayor Love. I know a few of you. I know Mr. Payne and Ms. Ravel, and who else do I know? No, Mr. Lee. So I know some of you. I'm delighted to have met the rest of you. I certainly know that, Mr. Payne was well engaged in the community before he was traveling so much with his job with USDA, and he was always the best volunteer in our community. I will mention that I have gotten a lot of calls, a lot of good words, a lot of recommendations related to Mr. Allison. Mr. Metter, you so amused me today. That was so good. You need to go into public speaking, my friend. That was fabulous. Excited to have a conversation with Mr. Cornish today and learn some things about you. And, the same for the rest of you, too, Mr. Alexander, Mr. Mr. Baldina, and Mr. Lewis is the other one that's not here this evening. So, yeah.
I'd like to say, Mayor, we didn't have a bad choice that I saw.
No, sir. I agree.
It's just a situation that only one can win.
That's right. Councilman Chivans?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm gonna go the way you asked us to, basically talking about what my choice would be. I met with several of the candidates. I could not meet with everybody because of time crunch and because we all have things to do, and I like to meet people in person. So if I didn't meet with you, I apologize. That was just a time issue. I do like a job interview, so I had a list of people, and my favorite ones, and the way I do things is that, again, I listen to constituents, so the really only name I heard coming from District 2 was Mr. Alexander, so he would have been my first choice. He's still my first choice. And after I met a wonderful lady, Sonia Revel, we had coffee, and I enjoyed every minute we spent together, and I think you're a fantastic person, and you'll be fantastic on that council. And Mr. Mader, I think your speech was exceptional, and Mr. Allison was too on my list. So I think we have great candidates. That's going to be a personal call, like every call. It's a human contact, but that would have been my list of people in order.
And I failed to mention Miss Elisa McDowell, who was lovely in her remarks last week, so I don't want to discount her. And Ms. Ravel, I probably didn't brag on you enough. That's why it's so hard to cover so many names. So thank you again also very much. Who else would like to speak?
I will. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
Councilman Carter? Okay, Councilman.
I was going to echo
Age
what
before
everybody.
beauty.
Sorry, go ahead.
Age before beauty.
Oh, thank you. It's a hard decision, and there's so many good guys and girls out here trying for this position, and I feel that I met or know everybody that is running for that office, and this is just it's a hard decision to make, but it's also very appreciating to know that there's so many people interested in this seat or the seats of the city council, and that we can move the city forward. But thank you, guys.
And I have to interject before I allow you to speak, Councilman Carter, because the police chief has informed me that I failed to mention Mr. Lee, who's one of the people I've known the longest. And in my head, I did.
I think you did.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, thank you also, Mr. Lee. Councilman Carter.
So I just want to thank you all for applying to serve alongside this great group that I've got to know and that I have really grown to love and respect. Some of my favorite candidates, and not in any particular order, but Sonia, I've known her my whole life. I've attended different events as a youth growing up at her church, and I always have had a lot of respect for her, and I think she raised a phenomenal young lady that is my classmate, Jania. Another one of my favorites is a good friend of mine, my classmate, Clyde. I've known him since he moved to Gallatin when we were maybe in the 5th or 6th grade. I've been around his family just about my whole life, as long as they have all lived here, and he was raised by really good people, and I know that he will be wonderful just from serving with him and going to school with him, and then seeing him, his leadership in the past and how he's volunteered. MJ, you really shocked me as well. I didn't know you were such a public speaker. So that was really good. I've appreciated our friendship over the last maybe 5 or 6 years or so. I love that he's a single father and works really hard to provide for his son and to make a good life for his son. And then Mr. Allison, I've had a lot of calls about you, and I've respected getting to know you a little bit better during this process. And so, yeah, so again, thank you all for applying, and y'all definitely have given us probably one of the hardest decisions I think I've had to make in my time here.
I'd just like to say if we have more of this in every district, Gallatin's got a bright future because
Absolutely.
This is an excellent selection.
Oh, yeah.
And those of you who are in the under 40, thank you. It's good to see some youth engage. Okay, so we have, at this point, one nomination with a second. So we can continue with that if y'all so desire. Are there any other nominations?
I thought we had to vote.
Oh, you know.
No, I would, I'm sorry?
I was wondering if they could nominate multiple people.
Yeah, I was thinking we could nominate multiple people, and then we would go through the list in order, and the first one who receives 5 votes would be that person. I've seen that cycle through a few times on other bodies.
Also, sorry. With that being stated, I would like to nominate Clyde Payne.
Motion to nominate Clyde Payne.
I second it.
Second for Mr. Clyde Payne. Are there any other nominations?
There's a couple I'd like to nominate, but it's too hard. I'll nominate Sonia Ravel.
I'll second that.
Who?
Sonia.
I'm going to nominate Todd Alexander.
And may I second, since I don't have a vote in this? I will second that, because I don't want anybody to. Motion and second. Let's nominate. I want to nominate MJ Metter, because I love the energy and the youth and the perspective of someone from that generation engaging.
I'll second.
I'll second it too.
Hey, we're,
Gone.
If y'all
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
voted for your top choice, let's see if you can hear everything.
That's what I know.
So now we have, any more nominations you want to bring to the floor?
Sean?
No.
Ms. Hamacali is that we are suggesting that we vote on our top choices as a way to narrow the field.
This is weird.
I agree it's weird. We've never had this many people.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we've never done this since I've been in office, but,
I had to do it, so.
and now, well, and how many people do you have? One, you know, not many. How would you like to do it, Mr. Hayes?
No, I just, I mean, I guess what we're going to do now is just vote on it. Vote on each one.
We can vote on each one, or we can vote on each one, and the first one to get 5 votes would be no, because that may never narrow us down,
You don't
right?
have to have 5 votes, right?
So we need to narrow, what?
You don't have to have 5 votes, right? You do?
Oh, yeah, 4 is right, because we don't have, that's right, I forgot. Because we'll need to narrow it down. So I think that we need to start. I didn't expect this to be nominations. I thought it was going to be between 2 people.
Would it be good
order of
to knock
nominate-
it down to 3 now? And go from there?
Or vote on them in the order they were nominated.
2.
Start on one side.
Let me ask you this, how are you going to narrow it down? You're doing the same thing if you're narrowing it down.
Well, no,
voting on
no,
it.
listen to this. Here's my idea. What if we went through each council member and let them name their top two, and I will keep a tally of votes, and then the top two vote getters. Well, Mr. Hayes, how would you like to do it?
I thought that what we were going to do is if somebody got nominated, we would vote, and if they got in, they were just in.
That was my intention.
How do you choose?
Yeah, but we'll get the first choice.
The order they were nominated, maybe. The order they were nominated.
That was my intention, but
Why aren't we doing that then?
it's like there was,
I agree with you, Mayor. Let's go like that. We all give our two choice. They get tabulated. We take the top ones and we vote on it.
we will see how that goes, and if we wind up with a bunch of ties and can't get to two, then we're going to try something different. Ms. Kittrell,
What are we doing?
you're giving me your top two.
Top two.
I can't do two.
No, that's how this is working, so yes, you must.
So are we doing that now?
Ms. Kittrell will call the roll.
Vice Mayor Love.
I will say Mr. Allison and, oh gosh, this is just too, I've got more than one here, but I'll say Ms. Ravel.
What's the second one?
Ms. Ravel.
Councilman Carter.
Mr. Payne and Mr. Metter.
Van.
Mr. Allison and everybody else.
This is hard.
Who's your second?
What's your buddy's name? What's his name? He's a kid to me, okay?
Clyde or NJ, they're both pretty.
He went to Cumberland University.
Clyde.
Clyde, yeah. I'm sorry, Clyde, I forgot your name.
Councilman Fennell.
I say Mr. Allison. I wish I could do what Steve Fan said, everybody else. It's just so hard. Mr. Metter.
Councilman Hayes.
Allison Metter.
Councilman Juvance.
Pastor Alexander and Miss Revel.
Pardon me, the second one.
Miss Revel?
I am going to go, because I adore so many, I'm going to go with the top two vote getters to date, because otherwise a tie is going to be created, which would be Mr. Allison and Mr. Metter. Which makes and ties elsewhere. So. So do you want me to read the tallies as I read them?
And, or does it matter?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Mr. Allison, 5, Mr. Payne, 2, Ms. Ravel, 2, Mr. Alexander, 1, Mr. Metter, 4. So that leaves us with 2 final candidates. And so with that, I would ask if we can move forward with attempting to get a majority vote for one or the other, and you have a choice of how to do it. We can either do a roll call vote, and you can select your choice, or we can vote on one at a time.
Let's do a roll call.
I'm sorry?
A roll call.
Roll call where you
Yeah, I think it's
select
clear.
your name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I was going to go through both of them, but, okay. So, Ms. Control wants that you call the roll for everyone's choice.
Vice Mayor Love, this will be on Allison.
No. We were going to ask them to give you one.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Such a hard choice. I guess Mr. Allison.
Councilman Carter,
Mr. Metter,
Councilman Fan,
Allison,
Councilman Fennell,
Allison,
Councilman Hayes,
Allison.
Councilman Juvance, like one, and then the mayor vote on this too, and then made.
That means that Mr. Allison prevails with a vote of 4-3. Welcome, Mr. Allison. You do not have to do anything this evening. We will actually swear you in at the next regular city council meeting, and I'm sure that you and I will be having some conversations between now and that time. I welcome you to call me with anything you may have. We'll try and get you oriented a little bit as quick as we possibly can, and then you will be sworn into office next Tuesday at the beginning of the 6 o'clock meeting. You may certainly select the judge that you would like to swear you in, if you want to do that. If not, we'll find somebody. So congratulations to you. Hey, congratulations to everybody that put your name in the ring. Y'all are awesome. I am like somebody said over here, this makes me really excited about the future of Gallatin, because there are days that I think we're running off everybody that's interested in running for office, but you all made it clear that that's not the case. And so thank you, and I look forward to your future engagement in our community. With that,
Motion to adjourn.
we have a motion to adjourn by Vice Mayor Love, and second by Councilman Carter. All in favor say aye. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a good evening. Thank you all so much. And leave here, be kind to one another. Take care.